EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the LA Chargers and their Southern California rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this one is going to be off the mark. Too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
First carry for Najee Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. First down, and they go back to Harris. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 45-yard line.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Give him another one right back to Allen. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical to do this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Herbert now. That one complete to McConkey. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Herbert going to keep it on his sneak. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Najee Harris. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are on the board first on the road here in L.A. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
At their own 24-yard line.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
It's a pickup of
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now Stafford. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Throwing is Stafford. He'll drop this down to Williams. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the 46, here's 2nd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 43. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells our offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas, let's keep it going.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Back to throw, Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now it's Stafford. This one swung out to Williams. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Touchdown, Rams! Tutu Atwell from 4 yards out. And the Rams are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. But down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays. They also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Excellent job defensively there from Kobe Turner.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now it's Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Hampton. Ooh, the juke. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
It's a gain of
23 yards on the play.
First down, Los Angeles.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Here's Herbert. Finds Johnston. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And Johnston sent in motion. 7-7, our score after 1. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 14-7.
Rams 7.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Oh, eluding the tackle. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Stafford. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. L.A. readies for its next possession. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 59 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On the ground, this is Amarian Hampton. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. Back deep is Britton Covey. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll hand this to Williams to start things out. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They run it again with Williams. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his fifth catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 7. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Called a gain of 3 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, Stafford. And he is caught. And he's taken down inside the 30. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off, what a throw.
And tough as a receiver, because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. And he lost 6 there on the first down play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. To throw is Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Brings up 3rd
It'll
down.
go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards, and that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 21-7.
21. Rams 7.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And able to get this out to the 25. The football going back to the Rams now. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. In motion, the tight end. From the gun, here's Stafford. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Here's Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 32-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. Down to about the 22 here. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon.
Touchdown! Tutu Atwell with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Rams have cut it back within a score. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Point after, right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. The end result, 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Herbert. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Herbert now. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 15-yard line. The Chargers' passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now, the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Being chased out left. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
14.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Rams going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
2nd and 2 at the 32-yard line.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Back to throw, Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
That's good.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Stafford. He's going to find Atwell open downfield. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
What a game he's having. They've not been able to stop him or even slow him down. He's got 2 touchdowns already. That could have been a third. He's got the secondary coach asking people for answers. Can you help me out? Because we are not slowing him down.
Now Stafford. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And Stafford's going to take it himself. Well, he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. On the out route, he finds Johnston. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
35-yard line.
Herbert going to give to Hampton. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hampton. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll check this one down to Hampton. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Pass hauled in by Johnston. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 29-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And out of bounds right around the 20.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Herbert throwing again. Give him another one right back to Allen. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 14. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Zone read, a give to Hampton. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
We're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 2nd and 6 from the 10. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
3rd down and 6. Back to throw here, Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Quentin Johnston from 10 yards out. And the Chargers take a 3-touchdown lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Adams the man in motion right. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
14 more yards. Complete to Devontae Adams. It's a gain of 14. Brings up 2nd and inches. At the 40.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Corum now on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Stafford now to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on fourth down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. Shifts by him. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. LA set to take over again on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
On the give, this is Harris. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down.
A gain of 3 brings up second down at the 39-yard line.
Now it's Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Herbert. Quick hitch, complete. It's Johnston. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. Out of the gun, Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He finds his man, complete. It's Adams. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll leave him with third and a full yard to go.
Third and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
They'll run for it. It's Corum. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now it's Stafford. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Puka Nacua, 33 yards. And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Rams 24.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Justin Herbert looking to pass. It's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 3.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Herbert. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On 1st down, it's Hampton down to about the 37. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
1st down, Los Angeles.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he's got it down to the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Short throw to Disley. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Herbert going to keep it on his sneak. And he is going to have the Chargers first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Cameron Cole with the tackle that time.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Here's a 2nd and 8. Open man right side. That's McConkey. And the Chargers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Buying time, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on first and goal.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Chargers have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
That's how you put field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from an ideal position.
Back to throw, Stafford. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. It's a loss of 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Well, Stafford. He's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Puka Nacua with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Rams are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. The fourth-quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
31.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now a first down carry for Harris. That gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
First down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
No gain on the play. Brings up second down at the 19-yard line.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Well, he's in for a Charger touchdown. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers have made it a 3-score game now here in the 4th. Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score Chargers 49, Rams 31.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Rams getting set to go now. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now the former Fresno State Bulldog, it's Ronnie Rivers. And he's going to have a Rams first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
42-yard line.
To throw is Stafford. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. As he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Throwing is Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Second down and 3. Now Stafford. Higbee secures it over the middle. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he'll get this down to the 32. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Stafford. And it's caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw again. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Davante Adams there to make the grab. And the Rams are able to cut into that deficit. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.